Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Am I audible to you? Am I audible to you? Can you hear me? Are you able to hear me by any chance? Can you just give me an indication that yes, you can see me, you can hear me? Am I audible as well as visible to you?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. I can hear you now. Am I
You can
audible?
hear me? Yes, you are audible. I hope I'm audible to you as well.
Yes, yes, you are audible to me.
Great. Good afternoon. Welcome to English Yari. I am Riza. I'm just going to give you an introduction about myself. I'm Riza. I'm currently pursuing my bachelor's in English literature. I'm a final year student and I work as a part-time tutor here on the platform. It has been a little bit more than a year that I've been working with the team. Has been a great experience so far from my side, and I hope that you as a learner will also have a great time with us if you decide to join us after the demo
Okay,
session. That's all about me. So I would
okay.
like you to introduce
So,
yourself.
okay, just a minute. Is it audible now? I faced some difficulty in hear you at the last.
Oh,
How
okay,
is my
okay.
voice?
Your voice is all right, but it's cracking a little in the middle, and your video was glitching, but it's all right. I can make do with it.
Okay. Actually, I want to say your English is so good. You are pursuing your bachelor's, and your fluency is good. So, by chance, like, how you pursue your school? Was it English medium or like Hindi medium, original language?
Well, I pursued my schooling from an English medium school. So I had a very good grasp over the
Okay,
language before I joined my bachelor's, and I developed a passion for the subject, for literature in general. In classes, I
okay,
think 9, 10, 11, and 12, majorly reading
mm,
Shakespeare. So after that, I took up my
okay.
bachelor's in English literature.
Okay. So just wanted to talk little bit about literature since you have a literature subject. Just wanted to know from you, like, do you like any feminist literature in India? Like, just like in 1960s or 70s, we had a feminist movement in India. So some literature also developed because of that movement. So, can you just, let me know like which literature you like, which book or novel, short story you like?
Usually, I stick to the classic novels, basically dealing in Dickens or Louisa May Alcott or maybe Jane Austen, and likewise. But if you're talking about feminist literature, I have read a
Mhm.
few as a part of my academic reading, but as leisure reading, as
Okay.
you know, that the feminist movement that you mentioned that took place in India, it usually isn't something that you can read as a form of entertainment or as a form of pleasure, right? It always requires you to think a lot about the historical background, about the social background, and the
Yes,
time
yes,
period during which it was written, right? So, yes, I have read them
yes.
as a form of academic reading, but not really as a form of, as a passion or a kind of a hobby that, yes, I can read it
Okay,
as a pleasure
okay.
read. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Actually, yeah, because in regional language, I have gone through this feminist literature. So actually, yeah, I mean, it is not just an entertainment, but it is more. So it like actually when we go through that, we get to understand like very very subtle emotion of the ladies which she face in daily life, at workplace or at home, at outside in social gatherings. So it is like very at very subtle level, very deep level, emotional understanding, their bonding with society, their problem challenges like that. Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
So
Can I just ask you what you do? What are you studying, or what have you studied, or what are you doing currently?
Uh, yeah, actually, I have done engineering in electronics and telecommunication, and I'm working in IT industry since last 6 to 7 years. So the reason behind I joined this class, just I want to evaluate myself. Somehow I feel that my grip over spoken English or command over English is slip. So that's why I joined this session. Yeah.
All right. And what kind of problems do you usually face? You told me, yes, of course, maybe your grasp over English is not as good. You may feel that. But other than that, can you
Yes. Yes.
elaborate a little bit more on what kind of problems you face on a day to day basis when you have to interact with someone in English?
Mhm. Yeah, nowadays I feel that when I start speaking English, so maybe sometime I feel that I don't have that fluency because sometimes fluency gets gives smoothness, so the other person can understand. If I am fluent, then he can understand very quickly. So I think sometime I can write English. I mean I can write English in very with good vocabulary, but when it comes to speaking, it takes time for me to speak. Sometimes I find difficulty to choose word, or sometimes grammar, or maybe sometime pronunciation, or sometimes I feel like underconfident, not so confidence. Yeah.
So I would just like to tell you that we do have learners who face this problem that they can read well, they can write well, but they cannot speak well. And that is due to the lack of practice that you might face.
Yes.
Okay, you have
Correct.
a practice of maybe writing as well as reading. You are reading a lot of stuff every day, whether it's your academic reading,
Yes.
whether it's something that you do in office or newspapers or any kind of books that you read for leisure read. And you're writing in the form of mails, maybe for office going people, they're writing mails every day. They are working every day
Yes.
in an office setup, which requires you to communicate with your clients in English, especially in the written form.
Yes.
But when it comes to speaking, it's always you have to practice with yourself, with
Yes.
others outside, which is why primarily we deal with that. So it's always about practice, right?
Yes, 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 yes. I do read Hindu newspaper on a daily basis. Sometime like I was UPSC aspirant, so I used to read Hindu newspaper. I mean, since last 5 6 year, I'm reading Hindu newspaper. But when it comes to speaking, I have less interaction with the people. Somehow, I this thing was there in my mind. If there is a no practice, nothing. If you're not speaking to people, obviously the skill that spoken English will not be that much good. So I think that somehow that was in mind. So now I have started to work on that thing to have interaction with the people. Even I write an email, I write a little bit like small stuff. I read the English, but somehow I am lacking practice talking to strange people, colleague, friends. So I think that sort of practice is required. So somehow I also decided that I will listen to some speakers on daily basis, maybe for 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and I will also record my own thing. Later on, I will evaluate. I will take help from some tutor, maybe native speaker or tutor who are good at speaking. So that is what my planning. That's what I have decided. So actually, for this platform, actually, I came across YouTube. There was one video, one boy, 22-year-old boy, who just finished his engineering and who was very good in speaking, and he was talking to tutor. So that's how I got introduced to this platform. So I downloaded it, I registered, I took a one demo session. So it's a good platform. Like I joined at like one, like the time which was given is was 1 p.m. and you were available at 1 p.m. So that is the punctuality I like about this platform.
We always treasure the feedback that we get from our learners, especially it kind of gives us as tutors the confidence to
Yes,
perform well as teachers for you all.
yes, yes,
So, the kind of content that you see on YouTube that we give out, it's always keeping in mind the kind of performance that the tutor as well as the learner displays. So we have a lot of
hmm,
them who have improved, who have taken lessons as well as sessions from experienced tutors. tutors who are much
Yes,
more experienced than, of course, I am.
yes, yes, yes.
But so it's always good to see them improve and speak without any kind of fear in front of the camera.
Yes, yes, yes. And one more thing, I also appreciate this platform because see, nowadays we have 140 crore people in India, and most of the population is dominated by young population. So this platform is offering part-time opportunity to the bachelor student who are pursuing degrees. So the good thing is that you don't have to look for job after your degree. So you can start developing yourself while you are completing your education. You are developing your skill, you are getting knowledge, you are getting confident. So actually, I noticed one thing, like being a bachelor student, being a the person who is doing bachelor, you have a lot of confidence in yourself while you are speaking. Actually, I was lacking when I did my engineering in 16 or 17. Before, like while actually my whole education was in Marathi medium, so I learned the subject, I learned the language, but I was not able to speak. Then after that, I did my engineering diploma. Then also teacher used to teach in Marathi only in the regional language. Only few teacher they will teach in English little bit. Then we used to get tense when that teacher started teaching in English. We used to get tense. We are not understanding. So that was the issue. But then engineering started, and I started to realize that yes, we have to speak because campus placement comes. So they ask for English. So English is most important. So that's how I started. And again, so the journey I started with talking with people, friends. That's how I started. So it's very good that this platform is offering self development or the employment opportunity to the young student, bachelor student. Yeah, that's very good about this platform.
When you were mentioning about campus placements and in general any kind of placement, not really specifically campus placements, nowadays we have noticed that there is a lot of demand for you to have good communication skills no matter what kind of job you are
Yes,
looking at. Whether it is a technical job or a non-technical job, it doesn't matter, because you're dealing with clients, with colleagues, with your seniors on a daily basis, and they require you to have a certain sort of communication skill which will help you to
correct.
clearly convey your ideas and opinions to them, right, and vice versa.
Yes, 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 yes.
So I
Yeah.
believe it's really
Since
really important to have good communication skills.
Yeah, because since after 1990s, our business world it has got internationalized. I would say it globalized. So we have a customer service provider from other countries. So English language is something which connects the people, which connects the employee, which connects the employee and employer. So I think that is the requirement.
Very
So
true.
actually, yeah, I
Yeah,
want to ask you,
sure.
my young brother who has done BA in English. He has also done MA in English literature, and after that, he has qualified the state level eligibility exam, but he couldn't qualify NET. Right now, he is teaching English to bachelor student in one of like the higher in graduation college. He is teaching. Could you please suggest some career opportunity for him, like
I am
apart from teaching
myself
what he
a
can?
bachelor's. I'm myself a bachelor's student. So for me to give career advice to someone who's already done his masters would
Mhm.
not really be something appropriate, because I should be the one
Yeah.
asking your brother about some career opportunity since he'd already done his masters.
No, actually, I could notice the difference. I could notice the difference. See, my brother has done bachelor's that too from the rural area. So he got to know about literature. He has good knowledge over the various kind of literature, Shakespeare. He has read many books, various kinds of literature. He has done master also. But the thing is that the knowledge about employment opportunities. So you have done all your education in English language. I hope you must have privileged access to all sort of opportunity from where you can grab opportunity, good opportunity. So that's why I wanted to know, like, where, like, this opportunity, like I got to know that you can teach at these apps where the person who is looking for spoken English services, so you can enroll themselves. So this is one opportunity. So that's why, if more opportunity, yeah, that's why I ask you. Yeah.
Just give me 1 second. I'll just switch off my.
Yes. Is it
Yeah,
is
where
it
I was
is it
getting.
table
No, no,
fan?
no. No, no. I was getting a little bit of kind of shock from my device. because it was
Oh, sure.
on
Okay.
charging. Yeah,
Is it
so that's why
laptop?
I'm just
Laptop
switched
device?
off. Yes, of course, it's a PC screen, so I had to switch off my charging
Okay.
point. So yeah, it's been giving
Okay.
me a lot of troubles lately. Right. So I would say that yes, of course, there is a lot of difference between attaining your degree or your educational qualification from a rural area and then doing it from an urban area, because yes, there are a lot of difference in the opportunities that we get and the opportunities that people in the rural areas get. In that case,
Correct. Correct.
the first and foremost thing that I would recommend is that you create a proper resume or a proper CV. And you can also create a LinkedIn account. Nowadays, LinkedIn is something that is prized by most employers. They always look
Yes.
at your LinkedIn account because a CV is something that is a piece of paper. They cannot really get too much information from it. So they
Correct.
always look for your LinkedIn account from where they can
Correct.
acquire the information, the correct information about your education, about what kind of internships, what kind of
Yes.
stuff you've done in college. It's really important. And when you have a good organized LinkedIn account, the chances of you getting hired by a particular employer rises. Other than that, there are a lot of um, you know side courses that you can take up. For example,
Okay.
if I look at an English literature student who has done his or her bachelor's from a particular college in English literature and now is doing his or her master's or wants to take up employment, it is always advisable for you to take up certain sort of side course, for example, in editing and publishing, or maybe human resources, any kind of side course. If you can take that up, it's a 6 months, so 2 months to 6 month course. Usually varies. I'm not really that aware of it.
Yes.
If you can take that
Yeah.
up, if you can add that point to your CV as well as your LinkedIn account, your probability
Correct.
of getting hired increases. It's always
Yeah.
important
I
to
mean,
skill.
correct. Yes, yes, yes. Upskilling is important, and what you said, like editing and publishing and human resource courses, that can help to augment the, the skill set. And so generally, what used to happen, like people, like from my region, so generally people used to do MA in English, and after that they will do B.Ed, and they will start teaching at school, or if they want to teach at college, then they will do PhD or MPhil kind of thing. So that is what traditional approach my brother is following. So that's why I was looking for some input from your end, so that maybe I can discuss with him like what he can do best. So in terms of skill development, personality development, like the building knowledge, industry relevant knowledge, and he has also LinkedIn profile. But now you mention the importance of LinkedIn profile for the corporate world or for employment opportunities. So maybe I can suggest for the better LinkedIn profile. Yeah. So thank you so much for suggesting to my brother. Just wanted to know about myself. So we are talking like since last 15-17 minutes. Just wanted to know from your end what improvements are required.
Of course. I have been noting down a few pointers since the time that you've been talking. I've been simultaneously noting down certain pointers. So, the first thing that comes to my mind is that when you are speaking, I can notice that you are trying to maintain a certain sort of fluency, which is good. You are not trying not to stop in the middle, and you're linking sentences together quite in a good order, in an organized manner. In a sense, I would say that the way you are expressing yourself, it has a certain sort of clarity. It's good. You are not really beating around the bush. You're just coming straight to the point, which is very good. Secondly, usually in the demo session, I have noticed that learners, they tend to hold themselves back, and they do not really have the confidence to interact with the tutor on a one-on-one basis. They kind of hesitate, or they lack the confidence, or they have a certain sort of nervousness. But here I noticed that a conversation, I did not really have to tell you what we had as a topic for today, what we were, kind of what we had to discuss as a topic. We're always given a topic before the beginning of a particular session so that you know what we have to talk about and not stare at each other's face through the screens, right? So we did not really
Yes.
have to do that. the conversation directly flowed towards a certain direction, and we kept on discussing about things, which was good.
yes,
However, I would say that there is a need for you to improve your grammar. For
yes,
example, while you were talking about how you completed your engineering, how you completed your schooling, and then you took admission into an engineering college, right? You said that
yes,
after I completed my schooling, my engineering started. After I completed my schooling, my engineering started. You said the exact sentence. So I'm repeating the sentence, and I would like you to tell me how you could have reframed the sentence in order for it to sound better and give out a clear idea to the listener who is in front of you. I completed my schooling, and then my engineering started.
okay. I mean, I could have said like I did my schooling, and after that, I did my engineering. Like that, I could say I completed my engineering education, or I could say like I did my engineering like that. Right now,
You
I
could
couldn't
have,
think of better way of speak.
yes. You could have. How you
Yeah,
could have said
maybe.
it maybe was, after I completed my schooling, or after I completed my studies from school, I took admission into an engineering college, or I
Yes,
took up
yes,
engineering course. I took up my bachelor's in engineering. You could have said it like that,
yes.
right?
Correct, correct.
A little bit rephrases. Again,
Yes, yes,
English is most importance. English is most importance when it comes to upskilling yourself. English is most important. This is what you were telling me when we were talking about how communication skills are as prized as technical skills nowadays when employers are hiring you. So you said
yes,
English is
yes, yes,
most
yes.
important. How could you have rephrased that sentence?
Okay, okay. So I guess yeah, I remember. I said it that in hurry. So I could have said in better way like English is the most important. Yeah, or I could say like speaking English is the most important soft skill in today's world. So like that I could have said.
Absolutely. Spoken English is the most sought after soft skill in today's world.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
yes,
you
yes,
could,
yes, yes.
what I
Yes,
suggest you do is, you do not really have to rush while speaking. You can take
correct.
some time, pause, maybe take a little bit of gap in between, think about what you want to say, and then you can speak.
Hmm.
You told me that you read the Hindu newspaper, or like any kind of English newspaper, because you were a UPSC aspirant. How do you read the newspaper? Do you like just read through it, leafing through it, and then keeping it? Is that what you do?
See, basically, initially when I started, like before 6 years, it was like I used to read. Am I audible?
Yes, of course.
Am I audible? Okay, okay, okay. I thought you were speaking something. Okay, so when like in 2017, 18, I guess when I started, I used to read line by line. But since last 2, 3 years, instead of apart from picking up language of the editorial, I also pick up the content. So while you are reading content or reading editorial of the newspaper, you are focusing on language because we have to write also. And apart from language, I also focus on the content which author or writer is trying to deliver. So like that, uh, like diversified attention.
Okay. So, what I suggest you do is, when you are reading, whether you're reading a book or a newspaper, any reading material that you have, except for, of course, any official or academic reading, when you're reading for your own entertainment or your pleasure, you always have a pen or a pencil in hand. You underline
Yes,
the meaning of words you don't know, and then you find them out, you write them on top of the word. In this way, what happens is the word stays in your brain. So when you are speaking with someone, the word spontaneously comes to your mind, and then you can immediately use it in your speech. This is something
yes,
that we as literature students also do. When we read, we underline, we find out the meaning of
yes,
words, and when we speak, we use them in our speech. This is why the
Yes, yes,
vocabulary also becomes diverse. Whether you are an English student or a humanities student, you will always notice a humanities student always has a good vocabulary. It's always
yes,
because they
yes.
underline while they read. Okay, so make sure to read
Correct.
actively, and if you can
Yes,
pay a
I
little bit
remember
more
my.
attention, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead. Sorry, I disturbed you. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll
I
just
thought
finish
you
this point and
stopped.
I'll let you speak. No, no, I'll just finish this point and I'll
Okay.
let you speak. That is, if you can focus a little bit more on how you are using your grammar. Okay.
Yes.
One thing I have, another thing I would like to bring to your notice is that you are trying to use hand gestures while you are speaking, and your facial expressions as well as eye contact is also good. These kind of
Hmm.
non-verbal gestures which you are displaying, they are a sign of your confidence, they are a sign that you are a good speaker. So if you keep on
Yes.
practicing them, keep on refining them, you will be able to become a good speaker. So you keep on
Yes. Yes.
practicing with
Yes.
yourself in front of the mirror, find out role models, find out motivational speakers who inspire
Correct.
you, and look at how they deliver their speeches. Observe how they deliver their speeches using hand gestures, eye contact, facial expressions, as well as good grammar and vocabulary. Okay?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, what were you
I
saying?
guess we have only 1 minute, right?
I mean, I would have given you a warning if the session was to automatically end, but here it's not really
Mhm.
the case. We always have
Okay.
5 to 6 minutes extra reserved for if the
Okay.
teacher or the learner needs for their doubts, so you don't have to worry.
Yes. Yes.
And the session is being
Yeah.
recorded.
Thank
If
you.
you're forgetting anything, you're always getting a recording of the session. You can find that out from the admin how to get a recording of the session, and you're going to get a feedback
Okay.
after the
Thank
end.
you.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
joining
thank you so
today.
much for the this information.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just you told me, just want to re-summarize the things. Like you
Yeah,
told
yeah.
me about grammar. Like I
Mm-hmm.
really need to focus on grammar. And apart from grammar, I also need to focus on rephrasing, like how to and where to use phrase, how to use it. So those things I need
Yes.
to, okay. And while reading, I really need to focus on like understanding the content and highlighting those contents. Okay,
Yes.
so okay, I
And
will for sure I will take care of it.
yeah, doing all these only isn't something that will make you a good speaker. You also have to practice speaking. Speak.
Correct, correct, correct.
Utilizing those practice material, whatever you have written down, maybe whatever words you have found out, whatever new words you have found out, it's also
Yes,
important for you to practice them. Otherwise, you're going to forget
yes,
it,
yes,
right? So, speaking is
yes.
also
Do you?
important.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Do you have any YouTube channel? Like
No,
you are guiding
I do
for?
not have no,
Okay.
no. I do not have any separate
Okay.
YouTube channel, and I don't prefer to have that because I like to
Okay.
teach in a kind of setup where we don't have any cameras looking at you or recording you, except for the fact that the session is being recorded for your own benefit, for the learner's benefit. Except for that, there is
Okay.
nothing that I do separately outside the platform. No.
Okay. Yes.
Any other questions? I can't
Okay.
hear you.
Thank you. Bye. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. It was really nice, and I got to learn few things about my spoken English journey, and I will try to improve on that.
Great to hear that. Thank you so much for joining today. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. You too.